In 1928, the Swiss-French architect Le Corbusier started designing Villa Savoy, a project representing the essence of modern architecture. The contemporary house was supposed to be aesthetic, clean, and frugal. Despite this scientific and reasoned approach, Le Corbusier and the modernists believed that architecture has the power to unfold a desired lifestyle. The architects of the modernist movement wanted to make their houses speak about their wishes and create reminders of a better way of living. How exactly can architecture change our feelings and improve our well-being? In this video, I will share 3 principles from the history of architecture and how to easily implement them in your home. Here are the tips famous architects would give you to design more welcoming spaces. Number 1. The principle of modernism. Maintain clean and decluttered spaces. Modern architects were obsessed with simple, practical, and clean rooms. Functionality and health came into the foreground during modernism. The architects started looking for optimal ways to create a more hygienic environment. They started using easy-to-clean materials and planning more open living spaces instead of previously dark and stuffy ones, so that more light and fresh air could come in. Large windows with a lot of sunshine and roof terraces become essential to modern architecture. What does this mean for us and our homes? Can you remember a moment or a day when you felt a bit messy and looked around and saw that your environment was overcluttered and disorganized? And it felt like you had the same chaos in your head. After you decluttered your space, you might notice that you could focus better and also create some space in your mind. All of this didn't happen accidentally. Our environment affects us to a very large extent. If we decide to improve our living spaces, this change will positively affect other areas of our lives. Keeping our house clean and organized you help you de-stress, focus better, and be more productive. It's no wonder the modern architects were so obsessed with simple and practical spaces. Number 2. The essence of organic architecture. Create connections to nature in your home. The architect Frank Lloyd Wright designed Falling Water, the most famous house in the United States, achieving a remarkable synthesis of nature and the built environment. Frank Lloyd Wright believed that human life is part of nature. He designed a house blurring the line between indoor and outdoor space. We might not have the chance to build a house over a waterfall, but we can learn a lot from this timeless masterpiece. The first lesson we can take is using organic shapes. The method for designing forms inspired by nature is called biophilic design. It aims to introduce various natural features into the built environment. Rounded corners and soft, smooth forms remind us of natural objects. They have a calming effect and contribute to a feeling of well-being. Organic forms avoid straight edges and right angles. They mimic living forms that don't follow strict geometry. The easiest way to implement them in the environment is to refresh the interior with curved lines and rounded shapes for more movement and flow. My favorite are roundish armchair sofas and other pieces of furniture that have a soft form. Organic shapes for lighting fixtures look super classy and are easy to find. They bring more coziness combined with a soft light bulb and will fit every interior. And, of course, decorative elements. Vases with round or irregular shapes look beautiful even without adding flowers. Leave them visible in the interior and you get instantly more organic vibes. The second principle we can take from organic architecture is the use of natural colors and materials. They primarily refer to light hues and raw materials like wood, stone, leather, or wool. Technically, almost every color can be found in nature. It's essential to keep the balance. The biggest area in the interior should be in light pastel and earth tones. Bright color should be added sparingly as an accent, as they have a high saturation level and can create tension or make the room look smaller. We also don't speak for a boring white nude colored room. There is always an accent in nature, a blue sky and green woods and yellow autumn leaves. We are trying to create a healthy and welcoming environment. A neutral palette visually declutters a space and is a very good choice for the colors on the walls and some bigger elements in the room. But remember to add an accent color to make your space more lively. The third rule is add greenery. Few things in our home have such a big impact on our well-being like plants. If we live in a city apartment and don't have a garden, decorating with plants is the best way to connect to nature. Plants have an organic shape and a natural green color which calm us down and make our space more colorful. They are also a powerful decorating tool and can look extremely beautiful. Plants with rounded leaves such as weeping figs or with an arching canopy shaped like palm are seen to be more relaxing. The form of the leaves also matters. Plants with high leaf areas and dense canopies are seen as mood boosters. Cactuses with their clean lines and sculptural forms complement minimalist and modern interior designs, adding a touch of elegance and simplicity. A more sophisticated plant could be used as an accent or a focal point. There is also this trend of adding a large number of small plants in a room, which is fine, but can lead to a feeling of confusion. Better choose a bigger plant that will also refresh your space and make it look more elegant. Number 3. The Renaissance formula. Use symmetry and proportions. Architects have searched for centuries for the beauty formula in buildings. During the Renaissance, they believed symmetry and mathematically precise ratios were the most critical factors for beauty. They used classical elements like columns, pilasters, arches, and domes to achieve the right proportions. The interiors were vibrant and full of art and paintings. What we can learn from the Renaissance is that harmony is the key to beauty. When planning buildings, architects always seek for a pattern to repeat. Interior designers know that balance is one of the most important qualities for well-designed spaces. They bring calmness and clarity. Balance is achieved through proportions and the proper use of symmetry. When it comes to furniture arrangement, balance can be achieved in two different ways: symmetrical and asymmetrical. Let's start with symmetrical balance. Imagine a central axis running through your room. By arranging furniture and decor symmetrically on either side, you create a formal and orderly look. For example, if you have a sofa on one side of the room, consider placing a matching sofa or a pair of chairs on the opposite side to create this type of arrangement. Balance doesn't always have to be symmetrical. Asymmetrical balance involves distributing visual weight without mirroring objects. You can achieve this by balancing a large, visually heavy item with several smaller, lighter items. The key is not to mirror them. Color balance is another essential element. It can be achieved with a mix of warm and cool colors and complementary color schemes. For example, navy blue and soft orange. Navy blue can be used for large furniture pieces and accent with soft orange through cushions, drawers, or artworks to create a sophisticated yet warm atmosphere. Arrange furniture according to their visual weight. Don't overcrowd one side of the room while leaving the other side empty. Consider the function of each piece and how it contributes to the overall balance. Ensure a good flow throughout the space. Avoid blocking pathways with furniture and maintain a sense of openness. Ensure that furniture and decor elements are appropriately scaled for the room. Avoid having one large piece in smaller spaces as it will look disproportional. Create a focal point in the room to draw attention. This could be a fireplace artwork or a bigger piece of furniture. Balance the visual weight of the focal point with other elements in the room. Mix textures and patterns to add interest to the space. For example, if you have a textured wall, balance it with smoother furniture surfaces. As you saw in this video, great architecture can be simple and we can implement its principles in our homes and improve our well-being. I hope this video was valuable for you. If so, give it a thumb and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.